Alright. I don't know where to start other than this video goes against everything I've been planning. It's late, it's in the middle of the night, everyone's asleep except for me, as usual. I look like a wreck. And I've been crying my eyes out. So hopefully you can hear me okay, but the purpose of this video is because it's time. I'm ready to start sharing about my story. I had my first video all planned out. And like every video I wanted to make following this first video sharing about my story, except tonight in my research I came across a WordPress account, and it's another mom, another birth mom, gave her daughter up for adoption, and she is like literally sharing her story, and it is my story. I handed it to Micah and I was like, someone has already shared everything I already wanted to share. It is crazy that someone else can actually know and understand and feel the things I've been feeling, because it is such an isolating thing. And she talks about that too. What's even crazier is she wants to remain anonymous, and I am not. This is such a bold thing to do, to go and share. I'm scared to do it, and I just thought I have to do it, and if I don't start now, I'm not going to. I'm gonna keep making excuses. I'm gonna keep having reasons to not do it. The timing is never gonna be right. I'm never gonna be ready. So the article that caught my attention was letting go and moving on. I'm just gonna start with sharing a little bit of her article because she puts it in words so well. I never let go or moved on from losing my daughter. Apparently that was something I was supposed to do. It was expected of me from the agency, my parents, my extended family, my pastor, and society. Having no other birth mom friends, I believed myself incredibly selfish and broken for not moving on from my daughter. What was wrong with me? I was supposed to move on as if nothing happened. I was supposed to be happy for her and her fairy tale life. I was supposed to return to who I could never be again. I don't think that's right. It's crazy. It says, I wonder what deranged world I live in for anyone to tell a mother she could or should ever let go or move on from the loss of her precious child. Let go, move on. Words of a psychopathic culture. There's this one too called Adoption, 10 steps in and 100 miles back out. And I guess it's a Miranda Lambert song, and she says they must have had an experience with adoption. It is a perfect illustration of adoption, but the most poignant line of the song is 10 steps in and 100 miles back out. I can't tell you how heavy that weighs with me. No one told me this would be hard. No one told me that nearly 17 years later I would sob on a regular basis vigorously as I did the day I let her go. My mother was the driving force in the relinquishment of my daughter. Suffice it to say, we've had a turbulent relationship over the last almost 2 decades. I fight between the natural emotions of wanting the to love my mother but simultaneously hating every fiber of her being. I have to be truthful, it's my blog. Hate is a strong word, but realization mixed with unresolved emotions is where I currently reside. I begin to chip away at the realization of the manipulation when my daughter was around 7 years old. I had lived so long in crisis mode that it took a while to sink in. My pregnancy was made a crisis by those around me. She says, I didn't plan on blogging about adoption. I wanted to blog about gardening and books. As always, the great suck commands its presence to be known. Ugh, so I know it's probably a mess and it doesn't make sense. It's a mess like I'm a mess. But it's real and it's honest. And it's a start of sharing this story. It's my first step. And I'm just gonna blame it on being in the middle of the night. And just being a mess. Hopefully the next video will be better. It won't be in the middle of the night. I won't be whispering. I won't look like a zombie. Thanks for listening, guys. I wish someone had told me that it was going to be 100 miles out. Moments come.